Hello YouTube, Infinite Match Rate Community, Gandalf here. We are day 57 on the 108 account. And as I mentioned, on this series, we are really feeling the mid-game grind a little bit right now. And this perhaps is also the fun of it, because at this point in the game, there really isn't a formulaic approach to how you want to play the game optimally anymore. Maybe there are some things you want to follow on, but really, if at this point, I feel like there isn't really a clear-cut right answer anymore. So this is also why continuing to play this account, as much as how time-consuming it may be to play two accounts, it is quite the learning experience. So what I'll share with you today is kind of a bit overview of the account progress, really showing highlight of two new heroes that's been added to my arsenal. One is Ben Austin E3. The other one is the copy of Eratos I picked up. It was a really tough choice between Jingle Bell, Eratos, and Wukong. And I can already say, as how great Erato is, I have my reservation around did I really make the best choice, just purely because of where my account is at. Eratos still is a really great hero. This is the first time we see Eratos at this price point, because the last time we saw Eratos in one of these packs, you had to spend up to I think $180 to get her. This time around it's only $106 for you to be able to pick up a copy of Erato in the hero selection chest. What I'll say over here is continue off where we left off from last episode, where I was at DMU E2, and that exclusive helped me finally clear at 432. You can see last time was a struggle with the addition of Ben Austin. And my gear on my DMU really hasn't changed much. But just all of these spam joint attacks with the entire team, we're cutting that down by quite a bit in time. From like 17, 18 turns, we're in the safe zone, easily getting to the, just a little bit over turns. This also drastically improved the damage for Wuthering Coast. Previously, if you look at my damage, the DMU Indra team, doesn't matter how I do it, I could barely get over 700 or 800 mil damage. With the addition of Ben Austin, the extra joint attack and consuming up all of DMU's lightning mark efficiently can easily help this team auto to like 1.3 with a little bit better gearing, or DMU to E3, we expect this damage to spike up even further. Sorry, with Indra to E3, not DMU to E3. Ben Austin also could be used in bruiser teams, so if you ever end up getting to a situation where, I could use this actually with Nordak, put Catherine on here, put Santa here. Like if you have a Henle, that also works great. This is a great way of creating a great synergy of bruisers to do joint attack every single turn against the boss. So Ben Austin is a really strong enabler for killing bosses. So that's what I'll say about Ben Austin, because really, again, I know a lot of people went for the standard opening mythic to say that I'm going to go straight up to Nordak E3. If you happen to have picked an Atkins, you probably wouldn't need Nordak. Like on my teams, I'm still not, really having to use Nordak. I will get to use Nordak at some point when I finally make my Lydia exclusive 2 and my DMU E3 and Indra, sorry, my Indra E3 and DMU E3. What I'm going to be hoping to do is really push up my dungeon levels a little bit with that particular setup, which means being able to cycle and have my Nordak damage immunity up a lot more frequently. What I'll also say since last time is we have gotten Nicholas to exclusive 2. this really allowed me to change up my team in PvP also a little bit more. And also, you can actually use Santa's AoE a lot more frequently now. This because whenever you freeze everybody, the cooldown is really reduced drastically when that happens. So let's talk about, what mid-game kind of feels like, what to focus on, and there really isn't a right answer. 2 years ago, when we were playing, early on, it was mid-game, it was all about finishing up Tower Mark. And this is where, I had that really tough call to say, do I want a Jingle Bell? Jingle Bell is a really good hero. You eventually want copies of her. And Jingle Bell probably would have allowed me to finish this. And I probably could have just, tried a little bit harder and, just get my Catherine to E5 and just be done with Tower Mark. But that isn't so important anymore, because to play efficiently, you really just need one of them to farm efficiently for floor 30 to fully take advantage of this time-gated content. And then, later on, you'll eventually clear it. So it's not a rush. The other part is you do want to push one of your faction abyss to stage 30, because this is also something that feels a bit time-gated. And of course, it's far more efficient. You can see, it's going to be a lot less than 200, but I think it's 80, but that's double the amount of token you get at 26. So to be able to push through the last few stages is a huge return for the number of tickets you spent. For every single day you don't push your way to 30, you're essentially wasting half of your tickets if you're at 26. And 26 for many players at this point in the game might feel relatively high. And I'm just doing this with DMU and Indra and Moxi here. You can see, and it will just take a couple tries, but it is totally doable. Totally doable. Totally doable, right? Come on. Don't embarrass me like this. There's no way. How is this not doable? There we go. There we go. It is doable. It is totally doable. You just need to RNG it a lot. And it will work. What I would say is, you do want to push this really far. So this is where also, for this particular account, or anyone who is maining a DMU Indra setup, I highly recommend getting your Wukong to at least E2. E3 is even better. And that will allow you to push all the way to stage 30, hopefully, as long as you have the speed stat you need on DMU. And that is going to be a huge saving for your much better return on your tickets that way. So that's one thing you can focus, is start building your team to finish out Faction Abyss. However, there's far more focus in the game now, and 7 Sages of Liuli is a daily content, and these ranking rewards are really important in terms of helping you do the breakthroughs. And if we look at, if you're in the top 3 versus someone who may be in the 50 mark, we're talking about, almost the double of energy and almost double of the breakthrough materials, especially for some of the higher levels. So yes, this is probably for, the whales. We can see I pass Butter. No, not top on everyone. Okay, probably top on almost everyone, because all of the different heroes he's got compared to the other players. But it is very difficult at this stage in the game in terms of building up enough hero you need to be breaking through some of this content. And this is really difficult because it's really hard to build all these heroes to be able to go far enough on it. Like, he's literally got pretty much all of the limited heroes, like all of the key ones. He's got Erato, he's got Jingle Bell at E3, he's got Wukong at E3. Most of us would dream to do that, but at the pace he's spending, he's probably paying like 200 at least per limited hero. And looking at his account, it's probably at least 3K in at a minimum already, and the account is not even 2 months old yet. Most of us, I'll say majority, like most majority of us, would not be playing like that. And what I'll say is, you now have a couple of things to think about. Is how important is breakthrough to you versus efficiently building up your aura, and just to pick one faction to really invest in. Because if you are a free-to-play player, what's going to be likely happen is you have a whole bunch of legendary hero you haven't built yet. And even for me, right, who spent, with our running budget of $100 a week, which is pretty high, I admit. Across my viewer base, I think that's a pretty high budget, $100 a week. And you can see, there's a lot of heroes I still haven't built yet, and I struggle every single day with this content, and you can see my own ranking in it. So dungeon, 7 Sages ranking today. I haven't done mine today, but last day I was top 20, then top 10, 25, 48. I really don't have poison hero build. That's why I picked MR Candle, and hopefully that will really, fix this up a little bit. My Indra, everybody has Indra, so not that great. And over here, I think that's today, right? Oh, I did so poorly on did I forget to do it? I don't know what happened. And this is also the other nice thing is make sure you do this every day, right? Like there's not even enough people participating in it. Just make sure you do your attacks every single day for sure. So this is one piece of content where if you look at the reward, yes, you get a lot of reward for ranking, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're not whaling, you're not going to be near the top, and the gap is just going to get a little bit bigger and bigger day by day. So, this is how you've gotten to this stage. Guild Boss 6, you finished it. You look at your dungeons, you pretty much can farm everything stage 30 easily, because this is the first time you're going to experience that difficulty spike, right? Because when you start going into stage 31, this is where you need heroes of specific damage types. The first time you kind of start introducing the tags. There isn't a penalty yet, but you're doing double the damage if you're using burn, poison, and if you're not using these, you either need like a E3 Jingle Bell that's super stacked up, a E3 Eratos, or some sort of DPS hero that's just kind of out of the norm that just breaks the game for you. DMU Indra does work, help you get everything up to 3. I'm sure with a E3 DMU and E3 Indra, you can probably do 35 on all the different content. What you really need to do is just time the speed on your Nordax so it's always protecting your team. And ideally, you have a Lydia E2 to reduce the turn meter on that. Have a Santa freeze the waves, and you're kind of home free there. However, here's the caveat. Even like I said in the last video, is even if you're farming something like this, right? You're doubling the odds on your legendary. You're getting way more, 6 stars. It still takes a lot of farming. Like going from here to here, that is a huge improvement, where you're doubling your rates on legendary again, and you're getting only 5-star gear. So really, endgame players are all farming here. It's going to take you maybe, typical progression feels like maybe, a week. Sorry, at least usually anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks before you're able to progress one stage further. Just from slowly increasing the strength of your account. And that will feel really painful because you're probably used to the high of I'm progressing super quickly through the content. All of a sudden, you're going to hit that wall. If you're paying, you're actually going to hit these walls a lot sooner, and that's the reality of things a little bit. So what I thought is, share some of those thoughts with you, and really to be able to pick out, which heroes that best suit your account. So for me, I really should have I probably should have picked Wukong instead of Eratos. But Eratos is fun. Eratos just, you know, if I look at a team like this, right, they're super tanky. And if I attack them, they burst me back. And I actually die from this team just because how much damage their Eratos does when it triggers something back and lowers me, and just the chain reaction happens. So it's really hard to burst something like that. On the other hand, now this is sort of like returning the favor a little bit. Is what if we put Eratos in here ourselves? And wouldn't that be fun? And here I think it's a great way to showcase the power of Eratos in combination with Ben Austin, because we see a lot of Panda here. I am just going to strip the heck out of every single one of them, and I'll start off with just the joint attack. Whoops. Do I have to embarrass myself in every video? I need to make sure that Ben Austin starts with the joint attack here. I forgot it was my other setup where so we'll start with this, and you can see what I'm about to do is first here. Let's just for all intensive purposes, let's just get rid of their Eratos first. Is Eratos you're not allowed to? I thought it's at a higher exclusive where you can't strip it. But there you go. I was never able to beat teams like this. And now having Eratos on my own team, I can. And it feels real good. And that's, the redeeming part of getting Eratos, because sometimes, it's okay. It's important to have fun, right? Like here, I absolutely dread dealing with Atkins. All right, I absolutely dread it. And Eratos, Eratos prevent counterattack. By the looks of it, now Eratos cannot be. Now I think invalidates that target. Eratos is the main target. Okay, now when allies I can't remember at what exclusive. Yeah, so at exclusive 2 you can't even pursue attack, So that's also the other pain, right? Like having so many Atkins E3 at this point in the game is also very painful. Having an Eratos E2 plus will also deal with that. What I'm hoping is, instead of doing the whole DMU Indra, I'm going to go straight to Eratos E3. And hopefully Eratos E3 is just going to shred and destroy everything by herself. Where, that's kind of the investment I'm going to go for on this account. That will kind of take a little bit of time. I think it will take us, at the pace of our spend. If all we do is just get copies of Eratos, it will take us at least another 2 weeks before we get there, possibly 4 weeks. But when we get there, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with Eratos. Really enjoying, what the whale life may be. But again, with everything all said and done, is we still have to be mindful of the fact that here I'm gonna try a setup like this, and hopefully I'm not gonna regret it. Because, you know, Ben Austin is going to allow me to do some joint attacks, and that Eratos of mine is going to, sorry, that, let's push the Terminator back. Ooh. Hopefully the shield will work. One. Oh. Yeah, let's go, Eratos. All right. See? This is all worth it. See, moments like this makes you forget about the mid game grind, because it opens up for team compositions and things that you won't be able to do before. Or like, for example, teams like this, I would be, you know, I will be having hard times with a team like this, right? But this is also kind of already, you know, fully boosting it out. Let's take this out. Let's put Eratos in, right? This is what I was talking about, where, you know, turn one, you poke them. This is, again, somewhat relatively tanky, right? That Hengu is also a pain. Oh my gosh. Quickly shield up. That's right. That's right. That's right. Don't worry. Don't worry. We got this. We got this. We got this. No, we don't. I was really hoping for just give me a darn turn. This obviously is not working according to plan. We'll have to come back here. Yeah, the joint attack there. So sometimes I'm like, you know, this guy, I'm pretty sure I was able to beat before. Before this change. Hold on, let's put our speedy one back. Maybe he's gotten faster. Maybe that's what happened. But like, I was able to beat this guy before, but without Eratos, right? Right, and this is where, you know, it's all about, you know, the proper team synergy here. That's all right. I'm gonna be able to strip next turn. Oh my god. Oh my god, please no. Okay, come on, steal. And then just destroy everybody. There you go. There you go. See, I can beat him. Not a problem. I don't need Eratos for that. But that, you know, there are teams that, you know, I weren't able to beat before. Like, for example, here, like, if I run something like this, Moxi's just completely going to be destroyed. With Eratos and the addition of Ben Austin, I now have options, right? It's about having options and having fun. Let's try something like this. I think that's going to help me, I think, right? Because here's the idea is Moxi is going to be able to strip, right? Moxi, Eratos, even E0 copy of Eratos is going to help you tremendously, because simply what it will allow me to do is do a strip and go into the kill. In fact, what I'm going to do probably is something even easier. I'm just going to go straight up, something like that, with sorry, not this hero. Where's my boost? Speed boost. There we go. There. Nordak is going to be a little bit of shield. See? This should work, right? So again, similar idea. Yes, Atkins is going to be, you know, the bane of my existence. I'm gonna get hit with once. But at this point, immediately Atkins Erato goes crazy and triggers 4 times, 1 for each of the hero that has gotten killed. And ta-da! Like, I struggle so hard against Atkins teams, right? And this just has given me, you know, a completely different experience. Here's another one. Here's another Atkins E3. And obviously you wouldn't use space against these teams just simply because, you know, you're asking yourself for trouble. And I almost feel like what I should have probably brought is Panda, just because it's safer that way, in case I get frozen here. But I do have a relatively fast, and boom, you can see immediately Erato is going at it. Yes, I know it doesn't kill Nita, but part of the damage from now if Erato is at E3, of course that's not a problem, but you know, we have, you know, remaining other heroes that can kill Nita, right? So all of a sudden, from, you know, ranking wise, you know, I was probably having trouble even getting to top 20. By getting 1 Erato, I took my rank 20 position ish, and I'm back up now, you know, being competitive again. And, you know, that is a great feeling to have, especially, you know, if you're a spender. I know the spender mentality often is like, you know, if I'm spending money in the game, I really want to be strong in it, but you don't like it when someone, you know, who was about the same level as you, then all of a sudden, you know, they get better, or, you know, it gets really competitive from that sense. And here you can see this is a great combo for those of you who use Erato. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This is where, you know, when they have a stronger Erato than you and you're just like, why? How did I beat him last time? Was it him? I can't remember. But this is also maybe I should have gone for, let's try that again. Like these tanky teams with Erato, it is not fun to play against. I probably should have had Santa in here now that I know that I am faster. But maybe what I should have done is just simply find a target that that I can probably kill. Let's try Panda. Let's see how much HP he has. Because this Erato, oh my gosh. How is this even possible? Is it because of the... How is it? Okay, fine. This HP cap is given by Nordak. But wow. Like this amount of HP at trial stage is absurdly disgusting. You know, looks like maybe Santa's killable. See, every time I kill someone, Erato is just popping off a little bit, right? And it's okay if I can't kill your Erato. Your Erato is gonna eventually get cracked down, right? So see, like teams that you're not able to beat, or you're not able to get enough DPS off anymore, because before these teams I just couldn't do it. And being able to just, it feels so good. You know, these teams aren't nothing, but so you know, as much as I regret not picking up Wukong, this is fun, right? And you know, it's all about having fun and getting the joy of, you know, having a new hero to play with, and, you know, making real impactful impacts to your gameplay. And if you enjoy PvP like me, which PvP is like the most enjoyable part in this game for me, and especially if, you know, you picked out a Moxi E3 first, I can assure you, you will not regret pairing your Moxi with the Eratos, because even with sorry, I'm so sorry, I often get ahead of myself in terms of showcasing. My Eratos is built horribly. Okay, this is like probably the worst Eratos. Like I should be embarrassed of myself of even showing this on the screen. I don't even have my emblems done yet. For the most part, we got to the mastery piece. That's the most important part. I don't even have a full devouring set for her because that's kind of the staple build for her now. I barely got over enough mastery. Okay. I don't even have her skills fully maxed out because I ran out of scrolls. You really should be running the best in slot for her would be versatility aura, which I've kind of shown. But of course, early game player, you're going to have a hard time. And because of your effective hit is solo early game, it'll be wise to use Grand Hit Master aura until you can afford versatility. Again, getting the right gear is really important for her, but it's hard, right? And here's the tricky part. Do I want, 18% more skill damage, or do I want, just get some mastery and some, HP stats with it? And for the time being, this is what I've chosen because simply I don't even have, the gear to go around. Like in theory, like these stats are way better for Moxi. I might have accidentally. No wonder my Indra wasn't doing damage. I stole my piece off of Indra. I was like, I could have sworn my Indra was doing a lot more damage than this. And I stole it from him. And yeah, this is very difficult and annoying to mess around with. Like here, like, I would say devouring set definitely will help Eratos to do a lot of damage, because especially later on when majority of your damage comes from burst notes, and all of these damage scale off of skill damage. But if you're using her in a PvE situation, you will eventually do a lot of HP burn and apply some of the majority of the damage comes from this, right? But if you are counterattacking with Catherine on, and if you're not at hard exclusive, you're going to have cooldowns, and you're going to be using your auto attack, and you're going to be landing HP burn. So, having, instead of full devouring, having a build around, say, mastery. I've been trying to find something that works. Like I'm almost thinking about retiring my I'm trying to find sets that actually work, but it's really, really hard. Like these boots are horrible for her. I don't even have a working pair of boots. That's kind of sad. So yeah, early game, this is typical early game woes when you really can't even find the right gear for your heroes. That's really, really hard. But even with all the things you see my Eratos do, and then all of a sudden you come back and you see how horribly built my Eratos is, hopefully that convinces you that even with an E0 Eratos, you can really dominate the early game just with one copy. So if you invest into a Moxi, you throw in there Eratos, you're gonna have a great time early game. So yeah, if you like PvP and you want to feel that rush of defeating everybody in your way, Eratos is a great pick. I know I wasn't able to pick up Eratos just because how poorly I mismanaged my budget, and this entire series is all about learning along the way, right? And I'm sharing with you these mistakes live, and I hope you really enjoy continuing watching this series as we continue to progress this account on server 108. So with that, I wish you a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time. Gandalf out.